Your heart is racing right now, not because anything is chasing you, because an email just landed in your inbox. Your palms are sweaty, your chest feels tight. Somewhere behind your eyes, an ancient alarm just went off. But there is no lion. There is no predator crouched in the grass. There is only a subject line that says, "Can we talk?" And yet your body reacted exactly the same way it would have 200,000 years ago. Why? The answer is far stranger than stress. It's a glitch in time. Your brain was built for a world that no longer exists. For most of human history, danger meant something specific: a snake in the grass, a rival tribe on the ridge, a predator's silhouette at dusk. These threats were rare, physical, and short lived. You ran, you fought, or you froze, and then, usually within minutes, it was over. Your body would return to calm. That was the deal your nervous system made with the world. Somewhere inside your skull sits a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. It doesn't reason. It doesn't wait for context. Its entire job is to scan for danger and sound the alarm before your conscious mind even understands what's happening. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping exactly how this works. He discovered that a sensory signal, a shadow, a sound, a threatening face, can reach the amygdala through a shortcut path faster than it reaches the thinking parts of your brain. Your body starts reacting to danger before you've even decided if the danger is real. That shortcut kept your ancestors alive. If you're standing in tall grass and something rustles nearby, you don't have time to think it through. You don't want to be the human who paused to analyze the rustling sound. You want to be the human who jumped first and asked questions later. Evolution doesn't reward accuracy. It rewards speed. And for a species surrounded by predators, a slightly overactive alarm system was a small price to pay for survival. But here's the twist. That alarm system was never built to distinguish between a lion and a deadline. Physiologist Walter Cannon was the first to describe this response back in the early 20th century. He called it fight or flight. Your adrenal glands flood your bloodstream with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate spikes. Blood rushes away from your digestive system and into your muscles. Your pupils dilate. Every system in your body prepares for one thing: physical survival in the next 60 seconds. This response is fast, powerful, and completely indiscriminate. It doesn't know the difference between a predator's growl and a notification chime. Think about what your alarm system actually faces today: a traffic jam that makes you late, a comment on a photo you posted, a message from your boss with no punctuation. None of these will kill you. None of these require your legs to sprint or your fists to fight. And yet your amygdala treats them with the same urgency as a genuine physical threat, because as far as your biology is concerned, urgency is urgency. Your brain is still running software that was written for the savannah, except now it's trying to run that software on a phone. This mismatch has a name. Researchers call it evolutionary mismatch, the idea that a trait which was adaptive in one environment becomes maladaptive in a completely different one. Your stress response is the textbook case. It was calibrated for danger that lasted minutes. Now it's triggered by danger that never fully goes away. A bad boss doesn't disappear after the adrenaline wears off. A financial worry doesn't resolve itself after your cortisol spikes. The threat becomes chronic, and your body, which was only ever designed for short bursts of emergency, was never built to run on a slow drip of alarm for years at a time. Neuroendocrinologist Robert Sapolsky spent years studying this exact gap. He observed wild zebras and noticed something almost funny. A zebra can be sprinting from a lion one moment and calmly grazing again minutes later, completely unaffected. The zebra's stress system flips on hard, then flips off just as fast. Humans are different. We don't just react to danger. We rehearse it. We replay an argument from 3 days ago. We imagine a conversation that hasn't happened yet. Sapolsky's point was simple and unsettling. Zebras don't get ulcers, but humans do. Because we've learned how to activate our body's oldest survival system using nothing but a thought. Pause on that for a second. You can trigger the exact same biological alarm that once meant there is a predator nearby just by remembering an awkward conversation, just by imagining a version of tomorrow that hasn't happened. Your body can't tell the difference between a real lion and an imagined one. To your nervous system, a worry is a threat, and a threat, no matter how small or hypothetical, gets the full emergency response. So, why hasn't evolution caught up? Why hasn't this system updated itself for modern life? Because evolution doesn't work on the timeline of technology. It works on the timeline of generations, tens of thousands of years at a minimum. The alarm system in your brain today is essentially unchanged from the one that kept a small band of humans alive on the plains of East Africa. Meanwhile, the world around that brain has transformed almost completely in the last 200 years. We built cities, screens, deadlines, and endless streams of information, all faster than biology could ever hope to track. Your amygdala didn't get the memo. It's still on lion duty in a world that mostly just has emails. There's a deeper layer to this too, one that goes beyond any single threat. Endocrinologist Hans Selye, one of the first scientists to formally study stress, showed that the body doesn't just react to danger, it adapts to prolonged danger by entering a different state entirely, one where it keeps producing stress hormones long after the initial trigger has passed. He called it general adaptation syndrome. First comes the alarm. Then comes resistance, where your body tries to cope while staying on high alert. And if the stress never lets up, exhaustion follows, a state where the very system meant to protect you starts breaking you down instead. This is the cost of running an ancient alarm on a modern loop. Your body wasn't built for a threat that lasts a career or a relationship or a decade. Here's what makes this even stranger. Your ancestors' threats were usually solvable through action. Run. Fight. Hide. The stress response existed to fuel a physical solution, but most modern stressors have no physical solution at all. You can't outrun an inbox. You can't fight a mortgage. Your body still floods you with the fuel for a battle that was never meant to happen, and there's nowhere for that energy to go. It just sits there in your muscles, in your chest, in the tightness behind your jaw, waiting for an escape that never comes. This is why so much of modern anxiety doesn't feel like fear of something specific. It feels like a hum, a low background static of unease with no clear source. That's not a malfunction. That's your 10,000-year-old alarm system doing exactly what it was designed to do, just with nothing left to point it at. Knowing this doesn't make the feeling disappear, but it does change what the feeling means. The racing heart isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that something very old inside you is still trying to protect you, using tools built for a world that no longer exists. Your ancestors survived because their bodies reacted instantly to danger. You're descended from every single one of them who jumped first and thought later. That reflex isn't a flaw, it's an inheritance. So the next time your chest tightens over something that can't actually hurt you, remember what's really happening underneath. It isn't your world overreacting, it's your biology, still standing guard in the tall grass, still scanning for a lion that hasn't existed for thousands of years. And somewhere in that old, mismatched alarm, there's proof of exactly how far you've come, and exactly what you're still carrying with you. Your heart is racing right now. Not because a lion is near, because the lion never really left.